Welcome to Discovering. Last week we took a look at the importance of introducing kids to the sport of fishing. Tonight we'll take a look at what happens when you do.
They get stuck in them weeds and you might not even get them. Mono stretches way too much, braid doesn't stretch at all.
Then a look at bluebirds and their houses. Sit back and relax. It's Monday night and time for Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill. The eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
Straight over? Yeah, I see it.
Pretty much. We've all heard the term pro fisherman. I'm not really sure what designates someone as a pro, but I suppose being able to make a living at it is the most common perception. I kind of like to think that maybe it just describes someone who has taken fishing to another level. Someone who knows what to do and how and when to do it. Someone who just has that knack, the ability to understand the art of tricking a fish into the boat.
This one started rushing the boat. Thought I lost him.
I had the pleasure of spending a day in the water with pro fisherman Tyler Flynn.
We got a 3/8 ounce straight king swim jig, and it's weedless, so you can kind of do a lot of things with it. You can use it just as a jig it off the bottom. You can flip them into the lily pads and just cast them and just reel them in, slow or fast, doesn't really matter. Works best for me is throw a little white Mr. Twister on there and slow retrieve it through some weeds or lily pads or any kind of structure really for smallmouth and largemouth. We usually use them for largemouth, mainly for smallmouth we usually use tube jigs. But with these sometimes you'll get a hit and you'll miss them. And usually if they miss them, you can throw a little Texas rig Cinco, weightless. Don't put any weight, just a little 6/0 Gamakatsu hook, and just Texas rig it. And usually those swim jigs, they run shallow enough till you might even see the wake of it when they hit it. So you can usually just kind of cast right back out to them where you missed them, and usually you'll get a hit probably half the times. Usually you catch them on the Cinco after that. Oh, I just got hit. Just like that. Most of them we're gonna get today gonna be about that size. Oh, it's a pike. Oh, no. I don't want to cut me off. Yep, fishing bass, but there's lots of these in here. Took a bunch of our jigs the other day, last time we were here. I said we go speed up the pace and then just loop straight through and fish those lilies, and then fish over there, and then we'll go out to Bay of Pigs.
Well, with Tyler, he's got a baby cart he uses for carrying his fishing gear behind his bike. And I'll be getting up in the morning at 4:30 to go to work. And I'll ask him if he needs a ride. Just drop him off there. He can get his pedal home, but I'll get up at 4:30, go and check on him, and he's already gone. He's out fishing, and I'll call him, and he's already down at the pier or at the river fishing. And I'm telling you, the kid loves to do it. That's what he does. So I don't think his mom understands it all the time, but me being a fisherman, I kind of do understand it. So I'm all right with that, you know. It's all good.
My rod's creaking.
That thing?
Yep. Oh, it's a bass. This thing's not looking too lively. Started when I was probably 10. Me and my grandpa and my dad would always make at least 1 year we'd get out to Big Bay to Enoch, go fish some smallmouth in the spring of the year. And the one day we went out there, we were about ready to leave. I wanted to go home. I, boom, got one smallmouth. I was like, I want to catch another one. It's like, cast back out and got 2 more in a row. So from that day on, that's all I wanted to do was fish. You know, that's another important thing too, fishing anything really in this kind of heavy cover like that, is to use braid, because if they can get into them lily pads, if you had just mono or even fluorocarbon or whatever else, they get stuck in them weeds and you might not even get them. Mono stretches way too much, braid doesn't stretch at all. And it also helps to feel hits too, because it doesn't have any stretch. And that one I didn't see my line or nothing, I just felt a tiny little nick inside the hook and he was there.
A little bit nicer there?
That was cool. Cookie cutters, every single one of them, they're all like the exact same size. 12, 13. Fun to catch though. That's why when you're fishing in this stronger lilies, like I said, if I would have had mono, there's no way I would have got that fish in, because it just wrapped itself around everything it went by. That braid just way more powerful than any other line, just cuts right through them.
That, eh?
whatever it is not very big. And it's coming in like a log. That swim jig. Here, swing around here. Dad, swing around over here. Holy crap. I caught this one last time we were here. Yeah. You gotta get bigger than that. This is your fish. Well, this thing is like yellow. Yeah, I got Dad just had a hit, and then told me he had a hit, cast out the Cinco, right where he said he lost them, and boom. I don't know, it's just, I don't know. Don't know what it is. Just like being outside, hanging out with my friends. I don't know. That when you catch a 6-pound bass is pretty fun too. Most times I usually like to fish smallmouth. I got a lot of them around Gladstone here. I got spots where usually I can catch some early in the year at one spot and then go to another spot in the early summer, late summer I got spots, fall I got a few spots. Then once winter comes around, then I like to go fish walleyes through the ice. That's a lot of fun. Early spring though, I like to hit the walleyes in the spring and bass, but mainly bass.
Mix in some bullheads.
Yeah, mix in some bullheads. Then pike and muskie are on the list too. Is that 24? Nope. Hey, Dad.
What?
Check and see if you have a barb on that. Oh. Sharpen your hook. It's okay.
Is that what he said? I got barbs on there again. Little guy.
Oh, it's a pike. Oh no. Just a true monster. I've been chasing this one ever since she was a fingerling. You can tell by the size. Just an absolute monster here, folks. Dude, get that mountain. Work him out. You got him. Dude, there's a... What? I just had a fish hitting it, sitting on the side. Oh my God. Oh, this one's coming out. Oh, yeah, she is. Second cast after I retied that. Had a pike snatch mine off the end of the lilies. That was so cool. Oh, here's one. Oh my God.
Eastern bluebirds are common along pastures, farm fields, parks, backyards, and golf courses. Here's a look at bluebirds and the houses they live in.
All right, so this is one of the bluebird houses that we have here at Birch Farm. I'm going to open this side here. So that's a full clutch.
5 eggs, yeah.
They can have up to 6, but typically they have 5.
Yeah.
And when they have a full clutch of eggs, that's when they start the incubation.
Okay.
The female, she'll lay 1 egg a day, typically in the morning. And it'll take roughly 14 days of incubation. The range is 11 to 19 days. And within 18 days, they'll go from being hatched, featherless, eyes closed, to being completely feathered, eyes open obviously, and able to fly and leave the nest.
Really?
People can check their nest boxes once a week, but once they become fully feathered, which is about 12 to 15 days, they should not do that anymore, because opening the side could scare the young. They could leave the nest prematurely,
Yeah.
and there would be no way for them to get back in. You can tell this is a bluebird nest. Obviously the eggs, you could see are blue eggs, but it's an all grass nest. There's 2 other species of birds that could come in here, and tree swallow is one. They also have a nest of grass, but they incorporate some feathers in it. And then if you're too close to houses or barns, you could get a house sparrow in there. Now both tree swallows and house sparrows are competitors with the eastern bluebird. Eastern bluebirds cannot excavate their own cavity. They need a cavity that's either in a dead tree or one that's created through woodpecker activity or through putting the nest boxes out.
Okay.
And you can see the inside of this box has been roughened up, and that'll assist the young when it's time for them to come out to climb up and get out of the nest box. Now the boxes are placed 5 feet on a pole, and then also they should be facing east or southeast, or south even, but as long as it's not west, because the summer storms come that way with the rain. And if they're facing north, often in the early spring, that's when we get a lot of our cold weather from the north. This way it's more protected.
Yeah.
This is one of the methods of keeping predators off. In the past, we had put the metal on here, just so, like a snake can't climb up in there.
Right.
This box has a predator guard on it, and all the ones that Wildlife Unlimited gives to the public have this predator guard on the front. House sparrows, They will peck the eggs, peck the chicks. Well, they'll actually kill the chicks, and also the adults, even when the adult bluebird is on the nest. So this predator guard makes it harder for them to do that. Bluebirds are really clean. This box has been used for years by bluebirds. The young, when they defecate, it's in like a gel-like pouch, and the bluebirds clean that, you know, so they remove that all the time. Tree swallows are different, as when the young are almost ready to fledge, they don't do that nest cleaning activity anymore. So those nest boxes really become quite soiled, and you know, you'll see feces on the inside of the boxes. Definitely, I would say, to clean those with a light bleach solution.
Wildlife Unlimited, this is our 34th year that we've assisted with the funding of the Bluebird Houses. So it's been a very successful project that we enjoy continuing with. So it's very beneficial for the bluebirds, because I believe the population has been down. For us, a well-deserved project for Wildlife Unlimited, and being partners with the Hiawatha and with the YCC program. The YCC's going out, maintaining them, and replacing houses. Great for Wildlife Unlimited to be part of it.
Wildlife Unlimited funds for 1 week wildlife or a YCC crew, which comes out and does wildlife and fisheries work. Gives them a really good opportunity to learn about wildlife conservation. If they were involved in other projects, they might not be able to see the result of that, but coming out to an area where the previous crew had placed the boxes, they can see you know, that they do get used, and get to understand more about wildlife conservation.
Well, that's it for tonight. If you'd like to keep tabs on what's coming up on Discovering, or see where we've been, you can join us on Facebook or go to 906outdoors.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week right here on Discovering.